Today, I wanted to talk about the term live service. It exists in basically every single AAA title on the market today, and it's become the business model of choice for a lot of the top publishers. So today I wanted to talk about live service as it pertains to Need for Speed, and how its implementation in the next game, while it could be beneficial, it ultimately concerns me. So for those who aren't too clued in on what live service refers to, it's a strategy where developers continuously update a game with new content, features, and fixes post-launch, often with monetization like cosmetics or battle passes and stuff like that. Need for Speed is no stranger to live service. Several of its recent entries have had a live service model implemented in one form or another. Some yielded good results, some yielded mixed. So let's talk about that. First up is Need for Speed Heat. So the game was initially marketed without microtransactions, if you guys remember, but that did not last very long at all. EA later added time saver packs like the Keys to the City DLC, the Deluxe Edition upgrade, etc. So post-launch introduced two new cars. Those are the McLaren F1 and the DB11 Volante, the Black Market DLC, as you guys know, along with the chat wheel and crossplay support in June of 2020, which that was a first for the series at the time. There was no Need for Speed before Heat that had cross-platform play. Now, we all know what happened after that. The game was sunset very early on, less than a year after the release, and this was due to EA closing Ghost Games and shuffling around all the employees. That would bring Criterion back into the fold to start work on what would later become Need for Speed Unbound. Now, I did want to briefly sneak in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered as well, as they did add a couple little bits to the game shortly after its release. The two things they added were a free paint color selector and a wrap and livery designer. Both of these didn't exist in the original release of the game and were received quite well on release. Now we arrive at the most recent title to incorporate a live service model, and that's Need for Speed Unbound. Now, those who played the multiplayer from the day it dropped, like me, know that this game was dead. No police in free roam, absolutely nothing on offer for a good majority of the first year. And then all of a sudden, boom, dedicated PvP, link-ups akin to the speed list of Most Wanted 2012, seasonal content with features calling back to previous beloved entries in the series, drag racing returns, Hot Pursuit career mode is added, lockdown PvP extraction mode with all 15 blacklist cars to capture, including a custom M3 GTR, the first usable motorcycle in the history of the franchise. And all of this stuff was thanks to the Kaizen team, who were brought in to help add new content while Criterion was busy working on Battlefield, which they're still doing. That's why we're waiting on a new game. And everything they added turned the game around, and I consider it one of the best multiplayer titles in the series, if not the best. So let's talk about how did the live service help the game. Well, first, it gave players a reason to keep returning, that being through regular updates like new races, events, cosmetics. Unbound's volume updates in particular helped keep the game in the spotlight post-launch, and Heat pioneered the Need for Speed cross-platform support, which was a huge plus for multiplayer longevity, and helped ensure that every player would be able to play future titles with no restrictions, because every single time you would move to another platform, you'd have to repurchase the game. So overall engagement was increased, players had goals to grind toward beyond just beating the campaign, and this is similar to what you see in Forza or even GTA Online. Now, while live service has no doubt helped the franchise, it's also hurt it. Despite being a live service game, Heat support was cut early, and Unbound also suffered from long gaps between updates that led to a drop in player interest. Even though the decision was solely on the side of EA, which meaning Ghost had no idea or control over the closure of the studio happening, Heat's late-stage microtransaction introduction felt like a bait and switch to me, and I'm sure the same can be said for a lot of you guys. Now, while the seasonal model no doubt helped turn around Unbound and helped cast it in a much better light among people, this service model ends up diluting the game's identity because there were so many crossover updates and callbacks to old titles. Even if it was the 30th anniversary of the series, it kind of felt like they had a crutch to help them release new content, because it really didn't prevent them from, having to sit down and really think, okay, do we have anything organic to put out? Most of it was just like anniversary updates that were relevant to previous entries in the series. So if EA and Criterion can commit to long-term support with deeper gameplay for the next game, rather than just, clothing items for your character or special car cosmetics, the live service model could elevate the franchise, but the half measures and inconsistent updates that we've had so far, I feel like have done more to fragment the fan base than truly unify it. So what's your opinion on live service models for Need for Speed? Give me a comment down below, and while you're at it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share the video with a friend. All the support helps the channel greatly, and yeah, I will see you all in whatever video I upload next. Take care.